guys, today is a great day. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. And I'll be glad in it even more because I get to talk to one of my brothers, Ian Charlery. Ian, what's going on, bro?
Not much. What's going on? How are you?
I'm good, man. I mean, we've been talking on WhatsApp. We've been calling each other. You've been helping me out with some of my wholesale kitchen supplies and stuff like that. So I appreciate you helping me navigate this season. And, you know, we've been having some good discussions in the background. And I felt like we should record some of our discussions so that we could encourage people, especially the business world and just a regular person on the road too, you know, just encourage them and elevate them. So just welcome on and thank you for taking the time, bro.
Yeah. Thank you for the opportunity. You know, like you said, you know, this is not a we're only just like recording this, but generally this is like a standard conversation.
Bro, I you know, sometimes I go to the gym and I call you on my way to the gym and I'm stuck in the parking lot for like 25 minutes just to tell you something. And it goes into all these other things, you know.
Oh yeah.
We all about growth. We all about helping each other. You know, being good leaders, being great husbands and fathers, and that's a real foundational point for us. So I just want to say thanks for modeling that too for me. Your creativity in business, your love for your family, always encourage me, bro.
Yeah, no, thank you. And what I'll say in this space is, you know, for us as young men, I guess we say, remember they used to say that, oh, young man, right? You know, our father situation is not smooth.
Yeah.
You know, we had to learn a lot of things on our own. I think society needs to understand that. You know, we really had to learn a lot of things on our own. It's like, honestly, it's crazy, you know? So we know now with this lack of knowledge, but the positive experience has now taught us that we can be better.
Come on.
You know, be better human beings from the inside first, obviously. You know.
I love that because, you know, we could either complain and say Papa or Mama wasn't there. We could say, just acknowledge and be like, hey, it wasn't smooth sailing. God bless all of you guys that got the support from the pops. But we had to actually learn how to be pops and great men and imperfect, but we making progress. You know what I'm saying?
We make a lot of mistakes, you know. And I think that this is one of the areas that leadership really helps, you know, because you learn leadership. You know, leadership is grown. You know, you go through experiences, whether they be positive or negative, they have a role to play in your leadership. You know, it's something that I'm a big stoicism fanatic. I love stoicism. And one of the things that stoicism says is like, it's not, you cannot control when, you control how.
How.
You know what I mean? So there are things that we couldn't control as youth growing up.
Yeah.
But through a lot of stumbling, sometimes in the dark, feeling out, sometimes bucking your head, bucking your toes, sometimes falling
in the ditch.
You know what I'm saying? You got to climb out of it. But all of that is leadership for us because look at us now, like, you know, we're learning. We're literally people who have learned, and we've learned so much that we understand that the key tenets to living and life, it's love. You know, love. You need love. You can't have too much love.
Yeah, man, that's the gas, that's the fuel for our hearts, man. Love. We do what we do because we love. We love our purpose, we love our destiny, and love looks like something in different realms. And so, bro, you know, one of the books that I think Obama, he wrote the lessons his father taught him or something like that. Yes. And I felt like there's so many lessons life has taught me without teaching me. You know, so the gaps that I've had taught me so much. So I can't even get mad at parental shortfalls or lack of support and something. I can't even get mad because, man, that fueled me. And now that I'm a father, a husband, a business person, a pastor, it's like I see what people need because I see myself in them. And I just want to give them that encouragement. So, bro, we're on the right page. So, bro, that wasn't even part of our encouragement or even script, bro. We got to stay focused, but we could go on that another 10 minutes. But I put in the notes. When did we connect, bro? I think we connect through basketball as teenagers, right? Is that used to live on Walker's Road and stuff? And
I mean, this was what, I was 15, 14. I think we met around those areas, definitely basketball. I mean, just definitely like what what do young men in the Cayman Islands do in those
Hang
times?
out, basketball, party, do something.
Nothing to do.
Do
There's
nothing.
nothing saying, go here, spend your time here. And then we spoke about the disappearing father. I mean, I have my father, my stepfather, blessings. I love him, 100%. But just speaking as to myself as an individual, and the fact that I didn't have certain things, I just find so much gratitude, bro.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful.
And those basketball, busting a sweat because young men got so much energy. We need to exert that. And then one time it was music. We all had a love for rap, the music.
Yes. And quick, short,
Yeah. And then I think we hung out the skate park a little bit. We did the skating thing for 1 or 2 times, bro. what we didn't do. And then there was that gap. I think if you have teenage connections, and then there's that gap through young adolescence or from like 20 to 25 where you kind of on a different path individually, but you all on a growth path. And it's so good to see us like reconnect when you are, for one time, people that probably don't know that you are a community officer in the RCIPS, in the Royal Cayman Islands Police.
Yes.
And we got to connect through different community interventions, and not only interventions, but proactive programs as well. And so I got to see you grow in that, and that was do you miss that? Do you miss doing that?
I miss, I'm going to be very specific, or try to at least. There's some aspects of being a police officer that I miss. I miss the people that I worked with, some of the most amazing people. Some of those people have taught me a lot about family. I miss helping the people in the community. I used to work in West Bay as a community officer. I miss my West Bay. I have a special place in my heart for West Bay. I would move to West Bay, but my wife wouldn't allow me. Right?
Oh, okay, Kristen.
Yeah. But I really do miss I miss being a community officer. I miss helping the people. I miss doing the drives for the children. I used to mentor some kids from Johnny Convo. I miss those things. That part of my life, it was so much learning. Yeah. Rough, just learning. Yeah. So, but what I don't miss is I don't miss being the first officer on scene for 90% of the murders and the deaths that happened. I'm still traumatized. Yeah. Straight up, just being honest. Still some stuff I have.
We went through a tough period in the mid 2000s with gang violence and just retaliations, nonsense. And I was pastoring in those times too. And I remember getting called from the police like, yo, talk to this gang member for me, please, because we can't get through it. I remember going to a neighborhood, bro. God bless the person. I'm not even gonna say his name, but God bless the person. I went to this neighborhood and I wanted to do like a community event. And I had to go to the Lord of the, like Vikings, Vikings? They can go to the Lord and talk to the Lord. So I had to go talk to the Ragnar of the group, right? And I had to come in low and I'd be like, bro, I want to do this. I want to have a toy drive. I want to teach the kid literacy. I'm talking about Project Hope. And when I roll up on the guy, kid you not, the most drugs I ever saw in one place underneath a tent. And I'm like, and he like, Pastor Felix, take a chair, man. And I'm like, okay. And we sat down, literally. I tell people the drug man, God bless them. They just took a different path. But I feel like they have some of the greatest entrepreneur gifts if they tunnel that and funnel that in a good direction. And so this man who, even though he knew what he was doing is wrong, God bless him, bless his soul, he loved his community in a weird way. And he was able to get the parents, the kids, everybody to get food, to hear the gospel, to hear everything, bro. Yeah. Yeah. When you have that relationship with people where you can pretty much walk anywhere and just have a conversation and honor people, man, I appreciate that. So I appreciated you when you were going in communities, when you were helping out people with domestic violence, when you were being a mentor to like you said, the elementary kids, when you and your partner would, talk to me about, hey, how do we help? And can you help with this and stuff like that? And so mad respect for you. Then we went we got to know each other a little bit different as students. And UCCI, bro. Bro, listen, you because you got a better grade, boy, you pushed me. Talk about competitive spirit, bro. I know all good, but bro, when I heard you describe things and when we would have like presentations and your verbal communication was so great, like I had to bump it up. When I heard your research and analysis on, you know, Caribbean history and political science and sociology, and I'm like, bro, no, he not getting a 9 to 5 again. So how was it for you, bro, being in class? I mean, we had about 6 classes together. How was it for you with us, you know, getting to know each other in that environment?
I to be honest with you, how I saw it, I saw only a few of us as equals. Yeah. Because as I said, I had this competitive spirit, and I was like, yo, Felix is like my guy there. I know Felix is be bringing this high level, and I will depend on him to, you know, like say, yo, this is what we're doing. We're going to deliver this. And knowing that we were more mature in those classes, you know, we made ourselves to be more mature, but we had other people looking at us. There were other students that they were doing like full-time classes, not working. You know, meanwhile, like, I'm working full-time as a police officer. I'm doing full-time classes. Like, I have no time to sleep, you know?
You building your apartments too and all kind of different stuff, bro, and talk about it, bro.
The police service, the academic pursuits, you know, during those times, we really did bond. I think social studies was the perfect. I wanted to do law. I was really focused on law. My heart broke when I could not do law, but it comes back to the story. One of the mantras is amor fati. It's kind of just, it says it is what it is, for the love of faith. Whatever happens, happens. Keep going forward. So I didn't get I didn't get to go to law school, but I went to do my social sciences degree, which is the best thing to ever happen to me at that time, because, bro, that helped us. I don't know how you feel about it, but I feel like that really gave Ian some key things to really just ponder.
Put it this way, like, as a young person, you could put me anywhere in the world with any type of leader, and I could add conversation to that table. That's what social sciences did for me. So shout out to UCCI, Dr. Livingston, bro. He's something else, man. I miss him. I miss him. And what was the next? Dr. Williams.
Dr. Williams. I still talk to Dr. Williams, man. That's my guy.
And then when we were exiting, Mr. Roy Bowden came on and started being the president. He was a professor there. So, you know, we were really privileged to get educated on the same time and just challenge each other, because we came in as mature students. We didn't go after our degree right after high school. Right. We had to make that money because we had bills to pay. We come from a generation where mom is like, I want you to go to school, but there are a bunch of bills. So you better pick a bill and add value to your home. And so for us to balance that, go to work, have a family, pursue a career is awesome. And you end up getting your master's degree in international business. Is that it?
Yeah. I got my master's after that. You know, that I want to go back just a little bit, right, to touch on Mr. Roy Bowden. Listen to me. Mr. Roy Bowden, J.A. Roy Bowden is the man. I have so much respect for that man. I got goosebumps just talking about that man, right? Because he helped to guide me. Oh, man. He really helped me, to be honest with you. He really helped me to put things into perspective. He really did help to guide me as a young man, as a young Black man. I'm so grateful. You know, I'm so grateful for every and any conversation I have with him, and I get to read his books. Wow. He's
one of those people that you just respect, even if you disagree.
Exactly.
Because I got points that I disagree with him, but the fact that the man would write things down, because I think, you know, the pen is mightier than the sword. And so if you don't write things down, that's one of the reasons why I wrote my first book, and hopefully by the end of the year I can start my second one, almost finished.
Congratulations.
Like to give social thought, social economics, you know, talk about the development of the nation. Describe the term, even the definition, potentially, what is Kimanian? What is Kimanian society? You know, one of the conversations that they constantly have in culture, and this is why I'm for education, especially not just education to have a global impact, but education from where you're from and what's your history and the connection to the people. Dr. Williams and him always fight in a good way, like a good debate, a good fight about slave society and society with slaves. And I mean, depending on what coffee you drink on that day, you might, because they're so persuasive, right? But
Yeah,
but if
I'm
I,
with Dr. Williams on that one, you know, but
yeah, I'm with Dr. Williams with Cayman was a society with slaves and not a slave society. That's his perspective, right?
no. His perspective was that Cayman is not a society with slaves, which a society with slaves means that the society is not dependent on slavery as the main economic driver. Slave society is a society where they do depend on slavery, and Cayman did have a slave society.
And we're talking about, guys, we're talking about, for those of you tuning in, we're talking about past. We're not saying slaves exist now. We're saying we're looking at history and looking at Cayman, you know, right here as a nation. And so, but I think what, and then, you know, eventually just to have a think tank, literally, because like right now, it would be good to have people from different sectors in our society having coffee, virtual coffee, if they can't meet physically, obviously now, about these things. Because I feel that it could add great value to the business community, to the government and stuff like that. And so, yeah, so social sciences, guys, if you're out there, you don't know what degree to do, get at least an associate's degree in social sciences. It will change your world.
It's a game changer.
It's a game changer. So I'm still learning so much about that. And the fact of the matter is that I know like in grade 4, grade 5 in elementary, I learned something about Cayman history in elementary, but it wasn't until, and that's like Teletubbies Cayman history. It wasn't until these classes came on society. It wasn't until Caribbean history. It wasn't until you know, international business. It wasn't until these classes that you get to see how people think and their values, their perspective, and how their ethnic makeup actually led their decisions and stuff like that. So, listen, I'm still making decisions because of the classes.
Yeah, the Caymanian diaspora is something that it should excite and invigorate all Caymanians. You know, to know more about this. We live in paradise, like literally, we live in paradise. You know, Cayman had a slave. There was a 100 years of slavery, 1734 to 1834. And during that time, it shaped a lot of who we are now. This is very important information. We need to understand who we are.
Yeah.
You know, and even for me as a person, you know, just a young black man, as I said, you know, just trying to understand myself better, because I have a family, I have people that I'm responsible for. If I don't try to understand me better, you know, even though, you know, I'm from everywhere, you know, I'm from a bunch of places. We as human beings today, living in this world, will realize that we are all one.
Yeah.
Right.
We got
geographical position is just geographical position. You know. I
think that, I mean, again, getting educated, like it really blows your mind, and it really challenges you, because when you get educated in social sciences, and then we're gonna wrap this up, but you can either get really upset with the white man or whatever you want to call, or you can become a victim in the midst of it. And so I think one of the things with growth in education is there's an invitation for you to excel, not to compare yourself, not to lose, you know, go back in the past, but to understand a position, an identity position, so that you can articulate better at the table and position yourself to add value. So I don't give too much talk to people that victimize themselves, because when you talk about those social injustice stuff and that, everybody become victim, but we have to be aware of what the issue is. We have to know where we're coming from and see that while there's been progress, let's continue to progress, you know. And part of this conversation is to add value to those progress. So, bro, that's good. We're not even talking about business yet, but this is good. This is good. And this is why I respect you, because I feel like this is what makes you the business person that you are, the leader that you are, the father, the husband that you are, the friend that you are. So let's talk about A1 cleaning. I see it on your shirt. How long you been operating A1, and you know, why A1? Like, why A1 cleaning? Did you see that coming? You talked about law, you talked about pursuing paralegal and having master's degree. What's going on, bro? Talk to me, bro.
Well, I think that I'll just go back to my stepfather. He'd always said to me when I was 12 or 13, he's like, Ian, what are you doing with your life? You know, like there are people your age running corporations. You know, what are you doing with your life? And he would say this to me. Honestly, a whole lot, man. You know, so over the 12, 13, 14, 15, when I'm these years old, he's saying these things to me, but it doesn't really register in the right way. I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. This has always been a dream. It just wasn't clear because I was seeking other things that I didn't realize that was not necessarily for me. I'm still in love with the law, and not in law enforcement, in actual law. I get excited sitting down and reading the law and understanding the law. I get really excited about that still, and that's not going to change. But A1 has been in existence for over 20 years now. My wife and I purchased this business in 2014.
Wow.
6 years. When we did, it was, one of the questions was, is this a good idea? Because it was literally...
was it viable? That's what you were thinking.
It was not viable.
It was not viable.
It wasn't viable, no. But, the opportunity would not have been there if it was. So I'm grateful all the same. I'm grateful all the same. And, we've literally just decided at that point right there within like a week or two, like, hey, why don't we just do this? And and then it's like, are you sure? But I believe, I want to talk about confidence, but I don't want to prop myself up higher than it is. I deal with confidence. It's very important. It is one of the, if you believe you can or you believe you can't, then you're right. You're right either way. And so I want to say with confidence that, as somebody who deals with the imposter syndrome, where I don't celebrate, my wins and stuff enough. And it's one of the, it really is because of the kind of leader that I am. I recognize that fully. We as a company, we decided that, hey, you know what, we can do this. I believe that I can do it. I think once you believe you can do it, you can do it. And look at us now. We're right here. We're doing it. Yeah. And to be honest with you, we've just been doing it. I can't say there's a secret sauce. You just have to work. Yes. You just have to work. So I don't know. It's been an interesting experience.
6 years.
6 years. This year, 6 years. Yes.
Wow.
This year in November is 6 years.
Wow. And I know that. And we talked a little bit about who you are as a person. That's why I went through those conversations of how we know each other, what your values are. You say love is the motivation and stuff like that. Who you are, how is that resonating in the DNA of your business? Like how you value people, your outlook on life. Is that like embedded in everything you do in the business?
It has to be, because the kind of leadership that I focus on is authentic servant leadership. I want to say something, right? My experiences of working in different places and my experiences growing up, the things that were not there and the things that were there, all kind of this big gumbo, this big soup of who I am, has literally came together and allowed me to, I guess, take the steps that I've been taking. So as it relates to, my business and how it reflects me, it doesn't just reflect me. Let me just make that very clear. I'm a part of a team of people who work together. And yes, I know that because anything that bad that happens, anything good happens, it really comes, to myself. But the truth is, A1 reflects the positiveness of Miss Rosita Brown, who is my operations manager, Kyril Aiton, who is my quality officer, Mr. Andre Fowlin, who is like literally our go-to hands-on, get everything done kind of guy. And, my wife.
Come on, talk about your wife 1 second. I'll talk bigger up for a second now.
Like, without a good team, it's what's it all in service for? So the conversations that I have with my team is I say to them, hey, we need to really think about how we're being with leadership. Everything we do, everything we say, like the way that we react to the things that are happening. It's very important that we ensure that the staff meet us, and it's not about always at our best. It's at, hey, I made a mistake. I'm going to own up for that mistake. I didn't get it right. So this is what we've done. We've literally led with vulnerability, authentic and servant leadership. I own up. I made so many mistakes. I've made so many mistakes. I say to my team, hey, I'm sorry. That one's on me. That's my fault. I apologize. I see how I put you guys at, how I didn't do this. And that's just, I think that I need to be corrected. Who the heck am I? I mean, come on. So just based off of that soup, we lead off of vulnerability. So you ask, how is my qualities? How do they trickle down into the company? What's the culture like? Because this is a conversation about culture, right? We lead with love. On our door, it says built on love. All of my staff, they're from different demographics. But we all have the similar fragmentations of love and understanding and communication, right? It's something that book I showed you, the post-traumatic slave syndrome, right? It's something that we all have. We all have stuff, things we learned as kids growing up, and we just manifest them as human beings, right? So taking that into consideration, when I see my staff, I sometimes see myself. I sometimes see my parents, because my parents were hard workers. They were in the service industry too. They worked really hard, and they were taking care of people not on island, and so my staff now is something that it's very in our face, because we meet with the staff and we sit with them. It's like, listen, each staff member has maybe 2 to 5 people that they have to take care of back home.
Wow.
And we would sometimes call staff in when, a staff is new, you've been on island for like 4 months, 5 months, homesick. You realize that the qualities of their work is starting to go down. You call them in, you speak to them and say, hey, listen, what's happening? And to be honest with you, it is difficult at first to get the vulnerability for them to even open up to say, you know what, I'm homesick. I miss my children so much. Wow. But it's to the point now where my team, we can cry together and we can say, I don't know your kids, but I miss them too. Yeah. You know what I mean? How can I help you in this situation? Maybe they want to, maybe they want to stop working after a certain time, because it will give them for now, the opportunity to speak with their kids, to say good night to them, Maybe it's something as simple as, hey, my kid is graduating, and I know that we can't really travel around this time for this graduation, but
can we work something out?
You allow me to take vacation? No problem. Come on, you could only see your kid graduate once. Listen, it's not always going to work out. But I like my team to know, hey, we support each other. You have a job to do, and I have a job to do.
Yeah. Well, I like that about you, because I felt in your team, like there's always like an honor. Like, so for those of you that don't know, A1 is the people that handle my residence and the church too. Like every 3 or 4 months bro, right before this all popped up, you guys cleaned out on that Wednesday, bro. So my church right at the time we open up. But the professionalism is there, the dependability is there. The client interaction with your workers is very positive, very honoring. And I've never had a situation that I felt uncomfortable about. Maybe 1 in 3 years that I couldn't talk to you, and you'd be like, well, Felix, that probably was misinterpreted by them, but let me talk to them. And then the next minute, the person comes and like, hey, Mr. Felix, sorry about that. I didn't get you on the instructions that I did. And we good to go again. And I felt like if you have to have a level of wisdom and customer service and approachability and even love, because you're walking into people's homes that's built on love. So that model is like, because, so I always felt that, and it could be the mean person that comes to my house on whatever day, or it could be the support staff that comes to the church. It could be, hey, Felix, that lady can't come, so can you get this person? It's always the same thing. And I even see I watch your staff because your orange shirt, you got your orange shirt, right? And bro, I've seen them at the schools when you guys clean the schools. I've seen them at the port. I've seen them in different contracts that you guys have in the community. And it was such pride. I kid you not. It's like there's a level of pride to work for A1. And I know that, I mean, I know you don't talk about this, but I know that you go beyond just the paycheck with the people. Like you looking to empower. Like I remember you were having this, like, my people need to get licensed. Like they need to learn how to drive. Like tell me about that, because that's one of the initiatives that you gave to your people to try to learn to drive.
Well, we were hosting classes for the people that wanted to drive. See, the, in the Cayman Islands, the transportation system is not great, right?
That's the
and
it's getting better, but it's still challenging.
No, it needs a major overhaul. There's too much of a dependency on having a car, you know. So that part of the market, the people that would work for me, they literally get left out, you know. So if they don't live next to a bus stop, you know, commute is difficult. So some of them, what we've done is we've tried to encourage everyone to get a driver's license, but obviously not everybody. You know, only a percentage of people would actually fall in to say, hey, I like this. I have one particular story. There's this woman that works with us, and she didn't know how to drive or anything. And literally, like I said, we brought this initiative up, and I was like, listen, you know, you can drive. You know, you're a grown woman. You're very responsible. You do stellar work. You're smart. This is not rocket science, you know. So we did the classes, and you know, we did some mentoring along the side and encouragement, because you know they would go and they would fail the English test, not the English test, the
written test,
the written test. They would fail that 2 times, and I'd be like, no, you gotta go again, and then they go in the third, come back, Mr. Ian, I didn't pass again, I failed. You know, the third time I'm like, hey, you know what they say, right? What do they say? I'm like, well, the 4th time's a charm. She's like, they don't say that. I'm like, well, you say that. you know, and then they go, and she passed. Wow. She got her written, and then she paid her money to get driving tests, to do a driving test, like over the space of months, and then she gets herself to the point where she feels competent, and guess what she does? She does her driving test, she passes her driving test, she buys a car, and now she can literally ferry herself around.
Come on.
And when she sees me, she say, look at my reverse. I'm like, no lie, your reverse better than half of these people out there. You're really learning. That's true, right? But right? This is, and this so we have. No, go ahead. So sorry. So we have a few people like that who've gotten their licenses, you know, through this kind of interaction and stuff. And they're, man, it ain't nothing better than you can teach a man how to fish, right? Come on. So to see that from them, it's like, you know, I just love it so much.
Well, that's progress, because now that's a skill that she can take anywhere in the world, driving, you know? And one of the things that that I was talking to you about before we started doing this interview was that diversity equals prosperity in this season. And so as a manager in the bank, I remember talking to people like, learn another skill or even get educated, and then you can't hit I was like hitting a dead horse. Like, come on, like I can't do this for you. And there's gonna be those people that you manage, that you employ, that they're stuck in their ways. But if you see that little glimmer of hope, like you talk about, to encourage them to be like diversified and different gifts, or do something a little bit better, get some training and certification, it'll be awesome. Because check this out now, if times get hard and you need her to drive a team or do something, you could depend on her. And so the more that you can do for your corporation is the greater chance you're gonna stay with your corporation, you know?
To show you how those actions are paying dividends right now. Obviously, you know, everything is shut down. Yeah. Right. But what a lot of people don't think about is the fact that even though buildings are closed, you still have security there. And the fact that there's even a little bit of occupancy, it means that there is a cleaning load that is being developed. Right. So we needed someone to go to one of our schools that we have under contract. And we needed that person to go through and take care of the areas where the security guards would actually be. And who do you think called?
The driver.
Who do you think can drive her own self with her own car? And I don't need to check in with her all of the time because she's such a beautiful, graceful woman. She just handled her business.
Come on.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
So that's good, right? Because, you know, in economics, we learned this thing about LIFO and FIFO. You know, first in, first out. And LIFO is last in, you know, whatever. LIFO and last out, whatever, right? Well, last in, first out, first in, last out. But the reality is like, there's tough decisions to be made right now, Ian, right? I mean, you've talked, I'm not going to go in details, but you are supporting your staff the best way you know how, because a lot of the essential, you're an essential worker, but you can only service essential clients right now, right? And that's put a big dent, right? Big dent. But you're still navigating, you're like, hey, we probably can't do this, but we can do this. And you're still keeping all your employees as best as possible. But what I'm thinking is that if you're an employee, whether they work for you or they work for somebody else, and they come to you and say, hey, Mr. Ian or Mr. Felix, we can do a lot more than actually in our, like on our capacity, we can do this, we can do that. And you're remembering the solutions that they're actually solving for your company, you're not gonna let them go. You're gonna take hard. You and Kristen will be like, boy, we gotta make sure Raw does stay because, So exactly. I mean, how is that like where your decisions is right now, that you're looking at the track record of your team and stuff like that? Or?
Oh, well, put it this way. We spoke about me having all this experience, right? Law enforcement experience. I have 11 years of law enforcement experience. 11 years of dealing with, everything that is not the best thing, right? A lot of crisis management, whether they be small or big, crisis management nonetheless. So, as it relates to preparing the staff, because that's how I would always see it, preparing the staff and preparing the mind for crisis. Yeah. So what it is we've long been in this sort of, I'm trying to find a way to frame this for you, right? We've long created this era and this theme of crisis. The way that we've been doing it, we've been stepping with this urgency to say to our team, hey, listen, every day that we interact, we need to intentionally form those interactions, because if we don't, we can let negativity take over, right? And just to remember, my team, they clean the spaces that other people occupy, right? Generally, people they just look down on the cleaners, right? And part of our thing is to try to take that burden of them looking down on them away from the staff and empower them. That's what you say, they're very proud to do the work that they do. Yeah, we say to them, without you, guarantee you don't come to work today or we don't service for one day, everybody's calling you, right? So people may look down on you, but you need to know, you're doing it, just do your best. Just do your best. So my staff, just off of this, do your best, they try to bring that. It's not always smooth. We're dealing with human beings here. Human beings are up and down. Oh, you haven't seen you see the stock market? Right? That's what it is. And I had to learn patience. I had to learn patience to deal with that inconsistency sometimes, because everyone has different things dealing with. We're talking about over 50 people, right?
50 people. And that's not a small, I mean, it's labeled a small business, but bro, that's not a small business.
A lot of people.
50 people, and you said the average person got 2 to 5 people that they're responsible for back home in some capacity. So 50 times 3 or 4, that's 200 people that are being impacted economically because of the creation of A1.
Exactly. Wow. And what we're hoping is, because what our entire thing of Built on Love is that, yes, you work here and you can get economic support, right? But we also want to give you social support. Yes. So the idea is that if we get to learn you up, to be able to deal with self-care, I would even want people to be able to take care of themselves. We can't talk about you taking care of another person if you can't take care of yourself, right? So I try to teach them this self-care. Everyone in the office is like, we'll say, hey, well, you could just come and talk to us. We say this it's like all the time. You could just come and just say something to us. We're not going to tell you what you want. We're just going to tell you the realness. At least you can come, hey, I want to get some realness. I come in right here.
Oh, yeah. Right? Give communication, talking,
Communication.
Yeah, because a lot of people carry things on their chest about the employee, employer, and, different stuff. And if we have an open door policy and leadership, say, hey, just book an appointment. Or if you see me and I don't look too busy, just knock and I got a few minutes. And I appreciate you having, like you said, I'm not here just for the economic value to try to add value to myself or to my team, but I'm here for the social connection and making sure they're mentally and spiritually healthy as well. And I was just having a conversation with someone who let me know that, bro, it's been almost a month. They work in a like a beautician type of environment, right? And obviously they can't open up, and it's kind of challenging. But they were telling me that, man, like their employer has said zip, like
Nothing.
not they haven't even, hey, how you doing? Do you need a voucher? I mean, if it wasn't in a commission pay, if it wasn't in a base salary pay, and obviously because of the restrictions on people gathering and services essential by government and stuff like that, it makes it hard. But can you imagine you being in the island, not having no connection to your employer that you've probably worked for like 2 or 3 years, creating wealth for them, and this certain crisis brings such an unhealthy disconnect? I mean, again, you can't always support them financially, but you could support someone. You can call them, you can check on them, you can tell them how you navigating this and how we navigating this. I can't give you $10,000 a month, but I got $3,000 for you. Can we do that? So talk to me, how you is your staff meeting you halfway with some of the stuff right now, or they've been very supportive?
Well, I mean, essentially, it's been from last month that everybody was impacted. And a lot of business, you would say 90% of businesses pretty much stopped. Yeah. So that means from last month, 90% of our clients not being serviced means obviously, that means a reduced amount of finances coming in. Mm-hmm. And what we've been doing is we've been literally trying to, for like last month payroll, we said that we had to take care of some basic things. The good thing is the staff already had some hours work, right? This was we were kind of midway of the month, this kind of happened, right? Last month. So our focus right now for the next 2 months, and we're hoping it could be, last month and this month, and we will see what happens in May, because obviously everything is like tapped right now. Mm-hmm. Take care of their groceries, take care of their rent, because we've seen the rent. We've seen the letters from the landlords, and they're not very nice. They're demanding, and those letters came last month. Yeah, and the landlord says straight up, if you think that you're not gonna have work, take the flight out, leave, because I need my rent. Wow. So what we've been doing is we've committed to rent, we've committed to groceries, and we've committed to health insurance. And health insurance is one that is often forgotten, because if you don't have a job right now and you don't have health insurance and you get sick, jeez, man.
Bad circumstances,
I can't even think about, so for us, we said to our staff, hey, listen, although you may not be working, we're going to pay for your health insurance. Mind you now, we're paying their full health insurance, which the company side and their side. Yeah. And then trying to give them money for their rent. Yeah. You get. So we literally are trying to do our best. Jesus' first miracle. Yeah. Turn water into wine.
No, we try to do it. Come on, bro. But the thing is, bro, I'm not even working for you, let me put it this way, like you guys can't come in my house and clean, but I, as a client, I want to pay it forward, in some capacity. It might not be the full month, but it gotta be something saying, I appreciate you guys. And your employees are thinking, well, listen, when all this settle down and things start to open up, I'm not leaving Mr. Ian, because that's another thing people don't need to understand. Like, it's gonna take so much time and energy to retrain people and reintroduce new employees to clients, and that could so what you're doing right now, you're investing in people and you're letting them know, listen, we in this together. And like I was saying, that's on the very positive side. On the flip side of that is the very transactional approach. And I'm saying, it's unfortunate that people are in that, but if I was an employee inside that, that's changing my mind of how I value my employer. And I love them and honor them. Bless you, Mr. B. Bless you, Mrs. C. But I can't work for you if another opportunity comes in. Because right now, the people, the expatriate community, our locals too, but the expatriate community that say have been here a year or less, they don't really have a lot of roots here. The expatriate community that have been here at least 3 years, they got little roots, they got a little Caymanian friend, a family that they can talk to and navigate some of these things. But the people are very vulnerable. And not everybody is getting an opportunity again, you know, connecting flights and stuff like that, that creates a lot of different economic challenges too, if somebody's barely staying afloat. So I know we've been on this almost an hour now, but I just want to say thank you. And if you have any last minute things like you want to share or encourage, I mean, I thank you for being vulnerable. You talked about vulnerable leadership. You shared how you were doing this, and a lot of people will come on the record and say, "Yeah, I'm doing this." And so I'm definitely going to promote, you know, this video, and I'm definitely want you to send me the website and information for A1, because I think you guys are positioned based on your guys' team leadership, your philosophy, your wife philosophy. You guys are so positioned to come out of this on a positive side. And I want to be there when it all said, not to high five you at least. So continue. You could wrap it up for us, if anything.
Yeah. Well, you know, thank you. I want to say thank you for, you know, just us talking. I mean, we talk
all the time.
Thank you for filming the talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like,
just filming the talk. This happens all the time.
You know, like, yeah, I mean, just, you know, thank for the opportunity. You know, the one thing I want to bring up is, you know, we try to do our best. You know, we're not always perfect, and people are not always perfect. That means staff are not always perfect. That means leadership is not always perfect. So the people that work for people who they probably haven't heard from, I would say there's also ownership on those people to reach out to their employers also. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, this is a crisis that none of us have ever experienced. You know, the last time that, well, 2000, not the last time. I mean, there was the bird flu, but 2,000 years ago there was the Antonine plague, and there was Marcus Aurelius, and that's somebody that I follow. You know, hardcore. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor, considered to be one of the best. He took over Rome. He was the emperor just like not that long, and then here comes this plague, right? And it was literally the same thing in Rome. There was not a lot of seriousness. The global pandemic, it originated in, guess where? China, right? Yeah, you know, the response was not quick enough. Governments failed. They failed to really address it the proper way or whatever. And, you know, I find comfort in his response. Marcus Aurelius, his response was, you know, first of all, economic crisis. What he did is he took care of most of the debt, right? He dealt with the debt because he said, you know, the people that owed the state, let's ease you up off of that. And you could see government is taking the same kind of approach now. Talk to the banks, pay banks, let's get a little break, you know, give people a break or whatever. Yeah. Then he started to take from the wealthy. Well, we don't have that here because we don't have that kind of tax here, right? But how I see that is taken from the wealthy. First of all, I want to make it very clear to anyone who's watching this video, we're not wealthy as it relates to finances and stuff, but we're wealthy as it relates to love, right? Love and positivity. My family definitely needs more of that. I don't think there's anybody who has too much, right? You can send all that my way, I'm taking it.
Congrats.
You know, and the key thing is, you know, one of the things that Marcus Aurelius did is he wanted to ensure that people were taken care of, right? For me as a leader, I can't, you know, I can only do so much, of course, right? But in that little bit that I can do, I think that, you know, whoever is going to experience it, if they think positively, they can experience it in a positive way, right? The one thing I want to leave us with, though, is Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers said something. He said, when I was a boy, I would see
Rogers, you mean from the neighborhood watch guy, Mr. Rogers? Yeah? Exactly. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Right? He said, when I was a boy, I would see scary things in the news, and my mother would say to me, look for the help. You will always find the people who are helping. Right? So though the news is also super scary here today, I just want to say to anybody, just look for the people that are helping and try to support those people. And you will feel so much better, you know? So thank you for the opportunity to even, you know, listen to me and talk.
Bro, I learned so much, and my value for you increased. And I think anytime you hear somebody's story, your value for them increases. And once your value for them increases, the value for it's reciprocal. And so this conversation, it might seem very small. It might seem very like, oh, we just had a conversation. But I'm pretty sure it's going to challenge a business owner to help their staff a little better. I'm pretty sure it's going to help employees or staff members to have brave communication and conversations with their employer in a healthy way. I'm not saying go and run up in demand, very healthy way. You spoke about the landlords, you know, Dorothy and I, we own 2 apartments, you know, and we just had a conversation like, you're employed, but I know it's a little tough. So let's take off a couple hundred off of the rent. And cause we want to navigate with this, because if you kick out the person, nobody's not going to go rent it right now. Everybody's sheltering in place. Everybody's sheltering in place. So might as well give them a little break and make them work with you. Again, they're going to remember how you were good to them. They're going to take care of your property. I always tell my tenants, take care of the property, you know, in a very healthy way. Keep me up to date and stuff like that. So, man, it blows my mind that landlords, and a lot of the landlords that are saying that are the landlords that, I mean, their property not all that great. And I love them, but I mean, they're not all that great. And I'm like, bro, these people are exposing themselves to a lot of fortune staying in your place in the first place. So give them a little break. So again, the government can't regulate that, but at the same time, I value the government saying, work with them, talk with them, navigate that conversation. And then the next thing with the banks, like you said, like the banks give a bank holiday. If you have some savings and you're getting paid, pay your bills. Cause that's also contributing to the economy. But if it's squeezing you a lot and it's getting to that point where it's probably going to be a little unhealthy with stress and mental capacity and taking care of your minimum means, then take a little break and breathe, you know? So, bro, this is going to be good. And I just want everybody right now that tuned in, thank you for tuning in, and just share it. All I want is to see you just share the video, and so you can help conversations with other people. And somebody in the government might see it, somebody local. It don't matter who see it. We see it, and we have it. It's recorded. It's going to make an impact. So bless you, bro.
It's just 2 dudes speaking, right? 2 healthy, you know, 2 people trying to have a healthy conversation. I mean,
come on. I'm a little jealous though, because I can't grow the beard, but just letting you know.
Bro, listen, this thing is getting out of hand.
You look like you parted, man.
This might be the time where I try to just, you know, get a full bald head going.
Bro, I got it. Every 2 weeks, Nikolai cut my hair, bro.
But you see, you already have the assistance, so, you know, I don't.
No, you're not gonna bald spots. That's true. You got a gray, but not a bald spot. Man, that wisdom, man.
Let's hope so.
Anyway, bro, thank you for your time, and God bless, bro. Peace and love.
Appreciate it, sir. Take care.